Hey guys, Fam here, and welcome back to another reaction video. Now, Dr. Bob. It's been a while since I've reacted to Dr. Bob. The last time I reacted to was the origin of SCP-073. I think that was the statue that moves if you don't look at it. Now, in this video, this one's about SCP-001 prototype versus SCP-096, the Shy Guy. Now, what I know about the prototype... Now, hold on a second. There are different types of variants of 001. The Guardian, the Factory, and this thing. I'm like, which one is the true 001? The very first SCP. I thought it was that giant Guardian at first, and now they're talking about that factory, the origin of how the how the SCP Foundation started. But in this scenario, all of a sudden there's a prototype. Now, I've seen the video about the prototype, and this thing has one eye. If you're in its radius, consider yourself dead because it's gonna hunt you down like a predator hunt down its prey. But in this scenario, this is gonna be a battle that I've never seen before. I'm placing my bets on SCP-096 because that monster cannot die. Because that guy, no matter how badly you hurt it, it just somehow just heals itself, like it regenerates itself. But anyways, ooh, this gotta be a good one, I bet. So let us react.
Dead bodies litter the streets, their skin burned and lesioned, their lips crusted with dry vomit, their eyes milky and white. This isn't the aftermath of a fight. It's the aftermath of a massacre. Nobody here stood a chance against the monster they died fighting. And the monster isn't done. An unnatural shadow moves between the houses, skittering on pointed legs like death itself in the night. Perhaps what the Elder said was true. Only an even more dangerous monster could stop a monster such as this. The survivors all converge in one building, shaking with fear and following the single instruction the Elder gave them. Keep your eyes closed at all costs. And to think, the village was so peaceful until the demon arrived. It is a small, picturesque place nestled in the lush mountains of Chile, hundreds of years before the world became the connected whole it is today. It is a world where that which exists beyond your borders ought not to exist at all. The people there live quiet and simple lives, herding goats and alpacas, growing crops in the hills, tanning, dyeing, and weaving. They are hardy people, acclimated to the often rough and unforgiving life on the slopes.
Now, forgive me if I mistakenly say this. I could see, like, Rolf living here from Ed, Edd and Eddy, because he's the son of a shepherd. I don't know what foreign country that Rolf is from, but I know he would live a life like this.
On the slopes. Like most in their time, the people here are ruled by superstition, a firm belief in the existence of gods and monsters beyond the veil.
What, that cats?
Scoff at their faith, call them...
What, that black cats are bad luck?
Primitive. But the reality is, an open mind will often catch more truth than a closed one, because we all know the truth. There are indeed monsters out there, haunting...
How can you even walk like that?
Always have been, always will be. The main difference is that now we have an organization on our side, a group prepared to die in that dark so we can live in the light. The people of back then weren't so lucky. They were forced to confront the gaping jaws and burning eyes of the unknown with no aid. The same eyes that would soon be turning to the innocent people of this rural, isolated Chilean village. It all began with a missing
001.
The boy was out hunting for game in the forest when his parents realized it had been hours since they'd seen him. As the shadows grow longer and the sky begins to darken, a rescue party forms and ventures out into the wilderness to search for him. Armed with clubs, bows, and arrows, the mountains can be a treacherous place between the harsh terrain and the many dangerous predators who hunt out there too. Little do they know, the boy they are searching for has fallen prey to a new type of predator, one that none of the villagers has ever encountered before. It's another few hours before they find him. One of the men in the search party remarks that the boy seemed to have gone far further than he should when hunting. Another replies that perhaps he didn't venture out here at all. Maybe he was dragged. No one honors that with an answer. They keep their heads down and keep searching. The possibility is too frightening to truly consider. If a dangerous creature has made its home in the forest surrounding the village, then all of them are in trouble. Not long after that, they find the missing teenager, injured and unconscious. He looks pale and sickly, with 3 ragged claw marks cut into his chest. The silent thought passes between them. What animal has 3 claws? No animal that they know of. But now is not the time to think of that. They need to wrap the injured boy in blankets before he freezes to death out here or succumbs to his injuries. First, they need to ensure that he survives this. Then, they need to find out what did this to him. Soon, the boy is lying in the home
Oh,
of the
there he goes right
medicine
there.
man, a rudimentary scientific figure with a wide knowledge of herbs and plant-based medicine, but he cannot diagnose the sickness that the boy seems to be experiencing. He has nausea, dizziness, a rattling cough that sometimes produces blood, and his skin is taking an odd, unnatural hue. This can't be the result of his injury, the medicine man concludes. The wounds are
Those wounds look deep.
actually relatively shallow. This malady must have another source. The villagers pray for the boy and leave offerings
so
and
impressive.
sacrifices at their altars for his recovery.
So
But it does
poison.
no good. Later that same night, he splutters blood and passes away. His dying words, heard only by the medicine man, is that there is a monster in the forest, and the most frightening thing of all is that he's right. Over the next few days, it gets worse. Far, far worse. The same mysterious affliction that killed the teenage boy starts to spread across the village, infecting the vulnerable and infirm with deathly sickness. Livestock begins to go missing, or are found dead when the sun rises, cleaved with the same 3 deadly razor-sharp claw marks. And if this wasn't all horrific enough, soon the crops begin to die off.
Man, it's going through the crops now. Man, this is way worse than having regular pesky animals to go through their crops. Instead of taking the crops, man, he just decaying them.
As though the same sickness that's hurting the people and the animals is doing the same for them. It's impossible to ignore the reality of the situation now. There is a demon in their midst, and if they don't kill it, it will kill all of them. The town holds a meeting in their square, where it quickly becomes apparent how drastically the town's numbers have dwindled. They are a shadow of their former glory. Some men suggest forming a hunting party to rampage through the forest, find this monster, and kill it. Others wisely bring up that this might leave the village's women and children undefended. What if the creature were to attack while they were all in the forest? It would mean certain doom. Frightened discourse soon gives way to a heated argument. People can become violent when they're afraid, and when the thing causing their fear is nowhere to be
True.
seen, that violence is inevitably channeled toward one another. However, before things can get out of hand, the brewing calamity is quickly ended by the sound of 3 firm taps against the ground. They all turn and see the village elder, an old blind man who uses a gnarled walking cane. The crowd falls silent. This man commands ultimate respect among the villagers, and for many, his presence has an immediate calming effect. Perhaps he would finally have a solution to this problem. "There is a way," he says with a slow, rattling voice. "What is the way, Elder?" asks a younger villager. "An ancient guardian spirit that lives in the mountains. I can bring it here, and it may be able to help us. But there is one condition, one rule, which must be followed at the cost of all others. None of you may gaze upon this spirit. You must keep your eyes closed. If you see it, a horror far worse than the ones we've experienced here will fall upon this village." With the approval of the rest of the village, the elder makes a rough pilgrimage up into the mountains, made even rougher by his age and infirmity. But the safety of his village is at stake, and there is nothing he won't sacrifice to see that its existence will be maintained. The only thing he carries, other than his
Talking
walking
like a
stick,
true warrior.
is a length of rope. Soon he reaches the mouth of a cave, an ancient cavern cut deep into the flesh of the mountain. He enters. As a blind man, the darkness means nothing to him. The cave is silent at first, but soon he hears something. A quiet, pitiful weeping. That is how he knows he's close to the legendary guardian spirit. The old man has never seen this supposed spirit, but if he did, he would know that it is a long, pale humanoid with grasping hands and a terrible face.
The
He
shy
knows the
guy.
beast is capable of great violence, but he also knows that the beast is not evil, for it takes no pleasure in that violence. The elder's knowledge of the guardian spirit in the cave had been passed down for generations in his family. He had been told throughout his childhood about how the Guardian Spirit defended their village in dangerous and desperate times. When bands of raiders had invaded almost a century ago, the Guardian Spirit destroyed them. When beasts emerged from the woods, the fear of the Guardian Spirit warded them off. And here and now, the Elder is certain that the Guardian Spirit would be able to defeat the demon terrorizing them.
Yeah, Shy Guy do gets around whoever sees his face. To the people who don't know already, if you see his face, you're dead. No matter where you are, no matter where you go, you're dead. Just instantly. He'll find you.
He takes the rope and ties
All
it
it takes is a
around the
glance.
monster's neck, forming a makeshift leash. He spoke a soothing incantation and exhaled. "It's time for you to serve us once again, Great Spirit," he said. And so begins the treacherous journey back down the side of the mountain. But in his absence, back at the village, the situation is deteriorating. Hours have passed, and night is about to fall. The demon only attacks at night when they're most vulnerable. Fear has already poisoned the hearts of many of the village's men. They sequester most of the remaining population away in the village's largest home and arm themselves. They have no faith in the Elder's mystic solution. They will find this abomination and kill it themselves. There is no other way.
I guess they want to end up like the boy.
But as they gather in the village square and prepare to lead an assault on the forest, they never would have expected the monster they're hunting to come to them. And in an almighty flash, it appears in front of them. It's even more horrible than they'd ever imagined. A large, spindly beast with black spikes for legs, an emaciated body, the same 3 black claws that had left those terrible marks on all of its victims. But worst of all is the face, the featureless, tooth-lined maw with a huge glowing eye inside.
Okay, my question is, how's that thing even eat while it has that eyeball in its mouth? And bruh, that has to take a lot of balance to walk on those 2 hind spiked legs.
It is a monster worse than even what their nightmares could conjure. Before
Make it look like he's squatting about to take a dump.
A blast of energy that blows back the ones closest to it, leaving them dead or dying, their skin horrifically burnt. Those further back run in to attack the monster, screaming with a fury that they hope will hide their terror. But the monster is far faster than them. It whips out its claws and slashes at them, hitting each one with a deadly kill strike. They aren't able to land a single hit on the beast. As the bodies hit the floor, some try to run, but it's already too late. One person attempting to run suddenly feels a pain in his chest. He freezes in place, and then is simply sucked into himself, screaming, crumpling away, and disappearing.
I had to go do that because bro got sucked into the abyss of the shadow realm. And just seeing that, I can imagine the bones being crushed and your organs turning to mush.
Entirely. While the language to understand how this man died would not be developed for centuries, we today would be able to say that the monster, today known as SCP-001, the prototype, created a singularity within the man's body, absorbing him into himself. The people cowering
it's a black
inside
hole.
hear the screams and the terrible sounds of their fellow villagers, their friends, sometimes even their families, being massacred outside. They believe in the Elder and follow his teachings despite their fear. They keep their eyes forced closed. Some of their strongest men have gone out there to face the monster and had been slain. There is truly nothing they can do except wait and hope. Outside, the creature, the demon that had been the ruin of their village, is the only thing still alive. The many bodies of those slaughtered lay twisted on the ground around it. Then, it begins to hunt. It wants to find the others. It gurgles and chitters, its legs making a tack-tack-tack sound on the ground beneath its sharpened points. The surviving villagers do all—
I can imagine this creature being like a video game that you have to try to survive from it. Just hope you don't end up being a black hole.
all they can to remain silent as they hear it getting closer. Death itself draws near. Then, someone and something else enter the village. The demon hears them arrive and skitters over to investigate. The Elder has arrived. He knows what happened. He can hear the demon. He can smell the burning flesh of the dead. And he has brought another monster on the end of a rope. A guardian spirit. A thing that, centuries later, would become to be known as SCP-096, the Shy Guy. And the demon had made the terrible mistake of looking at its face. The monster began to cry and wail. "You have defiled and profaned my village, demon," the Elder said, speaking over the guardian spirit's wailing. This is your divine punishment. You will be removed from the face of the earth for your crimes. The demon releases a blast of radioactive energy, striking the Elder directly and killing him instantly. But despite the residual burns from the attack, the Guardian Spirit is unaffected. It continues to bawl loudly. Then, with the fury and speed of a bullet train, it roars and gallops towards the demon, its clawed hands extended. With one strike of the back of the Guardian Spirit's hand, the demon's body is thrown through a nearby empty house, tearing through the brickwork and sending it skidding across the ground on the other side.
Yeah, I hate to face him.
To its feet, dazed and hurt. It doesn't understand. How had that creature resisted the radiation poisoning? It only showed minor burns. It didn't make sense. It makes even less sense to the demon when the Guardian Spirit comes bounding through the wreckage of the house, its burns already somehow completely healed. There is no hesitation from the Guardian Spirit. It leaps towards the demon, and the demon only narrowly dodges the spirit's grasp. It rakes its claws along the spirit's back as it glides past, leaving another 3 distinctive scars. But by the time the creature lands on all 4 spindly limbs, the wounds are already seamlessly healing. This is nothing like fighting a mere human being. Perhaps the Elder was right. This creature is a divine punishment, and it really is here to wipe out the demon once and for all.
Crazy that that thing can understand what the Elder said. It can understand perfect English. Depends on where it is. I guess whatever it consumes, it can consume. It can develop translation. I believe maybe. I don't know. This thing is just I don't fully know about. So sometimes monsters can understand what you're saying, but it'll still continue doing what it's doing, killing you.
But if that is the case, then this demon won't be going down without a fight. It creates a singularity within the Guardian Spirit's chest. The spirit doubles over in pain, howling and clawing at the dirt beneath it. But to the demon's surprise, the Guardian Spirit doesn't crumble like the humans did. The massive amount of radiation being caused as a side effect of the singularity barely seems to faze the beast. The demon strains to increase the power of the singularity within the Guardian Spirit, but other than causing it to wail and bellow louder, it seems to have no meaningful effect.
Guess your black hole is not strong enough.
Thinks it's as if the creature is held together by an invincible skeleton. No matter what it does, it only seems to be able to leave superficial damage. The monster is unbreakable. The Guardian Spirit flails and lunges, breaking the demon's concentration and causing the singularity to collapse. Taking advantage of the sudden respite, the Guardian strikes the demon on its disgusting, bulbous head, causing it to stumble backwards, dizzy. The demon steady.
That has to be the strongest slap I've ever seen. That no one could ever survive from. A mere human, actually.
Itself and gives a defensive screech, but the Guardian Spirit ignores it. Instead, it leaps onto the demon and grabs it. Shocked by the sudden ferocity of its attacker, the demon clawed at the Guardian Spirit's face, wounding it but not deterring it. The Guardian Spirit has a grip that would put iron to shame, and despite trying to wriggle free, the demon couldn't seem to escape.
Get ready to die.
As the Guardian Spirit roars and stretches open its jaws, the demon activates its emergency escape feature. It creates another miniature singularity around itself, a wormhole, and vanishes. The demon reappears in the woods, feeling for the first time in its wretched existence a pang of mortal fear. At least it was able to escape back into the woods, where it could steal away into the night and fight again another day. It understands its enemy. It could figure out weaknesses. It could plan, strategize. But its thoughts are interrupted by a familiar, horrific wailing. Shocked, the demon looks up. It sees the Guardian Spirit bounding towards it across the forest, barging through trees and splintering them into wood chips. How? How had this creature gotten here already? It's as if it has an innate sense of the demon's location. The demon steels itself and summons all of its power. It would need to annihilate the Guardian Spirit now, or it would be done for. It opens its freakish head, and the eye in its mouth glows, releasing a wave of radioactive heat that bakes earth and disintegrates trees and...
With that type of brightness, that almost looked like a solar flare turned into a Kamehameha.
Its path. It catches the Guardian Spirit in the blinding blast and wipes it out. When the smoke clears, there's nothing left of the Guardian Spirit but a charred skeleton. The demon approaches, perhaps to investigate the kill, perhaps to take
that ain't gonna work. That's not gonna work.
The skeleton rears up, already beginning to regrow its flesh. and closes its clawed hand around the demon's throat. The demon screams, but not for long. Check out the Dr. Bob Patreon and become a junior researcher today. Now go and watch another entry from the files of Dr. Bob, like SCP-001, the prototype.
Yep, I knew it. Ain't no way that thing would beat 096. Honestly, the craziest thing that I remember that I watched was Back on the Rubber. I mean, 096 faced way stronger opponents. I mean, have you seen 682? He couldn't even beat 682 because he's also indestructible. He can't even die. He can regenerate. And he lost limb, and even his own head that got decapitated. He can even call his body parts. He can't die. But also, what I've learned how they can actually defeat SCP-096 is to melt the skeleton. And yet, that actually worked. They actually found a way how to defeat 096. The only thing they have to figure out is how to defeat next is 682. I mean, the only best way I could say is keep him buried 6 feet under, make sure he's chained up with the strongest chains that he can't break out of, and just leave him down there in the vats of acid. Keep him mobilized. But I don't know. That's all I can think of. But anyways, I hope y'all enjoyed the slow reaction video. If you did, make sure you scare that like button, stab that notification bell, make sure you share my videos, and make sure you subscribe to my horror content, or the prototype will come after you. If you want protection, subscribe right now. Just do it, and I'll send 096 to how to deal with that monster. Make sure you keep your eyes closed. And I'll see y'all in the next video. Peace.